You lived an entire life before the age of 3 and then almost completely lost it. You were born. You opened your eyes for the first time. You heard your mother's voice. You tasted food. You took your first steps. You said your first word. All of this truly happened to you. Yet today, you remember almost none of it. Not a single clear scene, not one complete episode. Usually this is explained very simply. A child's brain is still too immature. But the truth is far more interesting. Your brain was not empty. It was learning, recording, connecting experiences. The traces simply disappeared later. Back in 1905, Sigmund Freud called this phenomenon childhood amnesia. And the most remarkable part is that infants really can form memories. In the 1980s, psychologist Carolyn Rovey Collier conducted a famous experiment. A ribbon was tied to a baby's leg and connected to a mobile hanging above the crib. The baby quickly learned that kicking made the mobile move. Days later, the same infants were placed in the same situation again, and they immediately began kicking, which meant they remembered. Even 2-month-old babies can retain memories for several days, while 6-month-olds can remember for weeks. So the problem is not that an infant brain cannot store information at all. It can. The issue is that these memories are not preserved for a lifetime. One reason involves the hippocampus, the part of the brain that helps turn experiences into memories. In adults, it works together with the cerebral cortex, allowing us to remember events as stories, a birthday party, a conversation, a walk in the rain. But in infants, this system is still under construction. The connections between the hippocampus and the cortex are immature, and some important regions do not fully develop until the ages of 2 to 4. Early memories may have formed, but they struggled to become stable enough to last. But there is another, stranger explanation. During the first years of life, the brain rapidly creates new neurons. This process is called neurogenesis. It is essential. It helps build the neural circuits a person will use throughout life. But this growth comes with a cost. As new neurons integrate into existing networks, they can disrupt older connections, including the ones storing memories. Neuroscientists Sheena Jocelyn and Paul Franklin demonstrated this in experiments with mice. When adult mice were stimulated to produce more new neurons, they forgot learned information more quickly. When neurogenesis was slowed in young mice, their memories lasted longer. In other words, the child's brain did not forget because it was weak. It forgot because it was growing too fast. It was like building new rooms while tearing down old walls at the same time. But memory is not only about neurons. To remember an event as part of your own life, you need a sense of self. You need to understand, this happened to me. Infants do not have this awareness right away. Until around 18 to 24 months, a child does not yet perceive themselves as a separate individual in the way adults do. This can be seen in the classic mirror test. A mark is placed on a child's nose, and they are shown their reflection. Before a certain age, the child thinks they are looking at another baby. Later, they begin touching their own nose, a sign that they recognize themselves. Only when this sense of I emerges can experiences begin turning into autobiographical memories. There is another important factor, language. Before words, a child's world consists of sensations, sounds, light, touch, emotions. Language helps organize those sensations into a story. When adults talk to children about the past, remember when we went to the park? They teach them how to package experience into a narrative. That is why culture also influences how early our first memories appear. In cultures where parents frequently discuss personal experiences with children, early memories tend to form earlier. In cultures that place less emphasis on individual stories, they tend to appear later. So the first years of your life disappeared for more than one reason. Your hippocampus was still developing. Your brain was rapidly restructuring itself. You did not yet have a stable sense of self, and you did not yet have language to preserve experiences as stories. You did not forget your childhood because it was empty. Quite the opposite. Too much was happening. Your brain was not simply storing memories. It was building the person you would become. And to do that, it had to erase almost everything that came before.